So, Bryony, three so far, three in a row. Pretty much, well, particularly yesterday, and I think certainly last year too. Really good, healthy time gaps as well. Not really under too much threat. So that's a nice feeling. Before I come on to the detail of your three peaks yesterday, I just wanted to ask: is the Louise Robinson five wins of the Three Peaks record looming there in your mind, or has it not even occurred to you yet?
Definitely. Yeah, I'd like to keep going as long as I can, I guess.
Good. Well, a lot of people do come back and do keep doing the race. It's definitely got that flavour to it, as we can see every year. How old are you? Sorry to ask a personal question. I'm just wondering how many wins we've got coming up.
I'm 31.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. So, my daughter Elsie did her first yesterday, and won't be bothering you for some years. For saying that, but yeah, you've certainly got a number of good years left in you yet. If we look at the men's field, and also the fact that your second place rider yesterday is over 50, it's the kind of race that does reward experience, I think, in a way, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I think if and when Isla Jeb comes along, she'll I feel like she'll do everything she can, and she's a very good fell runner, and she's a very good cyclist, and it'll be interesting what her first one's like.
So I did speak to Jebby about that. He's definitely not putting the pressure on, but yeah, I think it's definitely, there's some promising young riders around, definitely. Yeah. So yesterday, tell us about your race. How did it all go?
Churned up in a washing machine at the beginning on the road. Didn't necessarily enjoy that bit, but I think that's very much a lack of any road riding or road racing, and just not used to being in a big bunch. It took me a while to get into my groove up Simon's Fell, and then I caught Helen pretty much at the top, and thought, there's a prime to be had here. I'd best get cracking.
Yeah.
So yeah, took that off Helen, and then my head was in it, and it was kind of go time.
Yeah. So and I think he's okay. I think Simon Fell, even from the limited experience I've had from years ago at being nearer the front of the race, you can afford to let things go a bit on Simon Fell. It does take a lot to get your rhythm going, really, and nobody finds it easy. That's the no one at the front, no one at the back. It's a hideous climb, and I think that little bit over the top, when you get back on your bike, you've gone over Rawnsley's Leap probably and start to ride a bit. How was that for you? Because I always find that sort of dictates how the rest of the race is going to go for me. If I feel smooth and I can get on and off my bike quickly at the right places over there, I have a good day generally. And if I'm a bit bumpy and all over the place and clumsy there, it tends to translate into quite a bad day.
It felt okay. I guess, being further back in the field, like, you don't have the luxury of having like, it's single track, and you don't have the luxury of having that all to yourself and going at exactly the pace you want. And like, there's people who are maybe not going as fast on some bits, and you want to overtake them, but you can't. And but generally that felt pretty smooth. Good. And yeah,
and you got going. You had a good time up Ingleborough. I think there was a number of fast rides down to Colt Coach yesterday. I was thinking that the times might be a bit slower because everyone's now being forced to take the different route off the top.
Yeah, I think it's probably been one of the driest it's been.
Yeah.
In the 4 years I've done it, it's like, the bogs weren't actually that boggy. No. We went and recce'd it mid last week and kind of ran that descent. So, and like, you look at some of the bogs and you think they're going to be really deep, but we kind of stood in them, and actually they were really shallow. It was just kind of surface water on the top. So
Yeah.
it was nice to know that I wasn't necessarily going to be swallowed by them.
Yeah.
But yeah, yesterday I had my fastest 3 descents
Good.
that I've ever had. So yeah, I don't know
And
whether
that traffic thing, I'm interested in that, because you're at the front of your race, and it must be frustrating if you're particularly a good descender, and you're stuck behind people who are, effectively kind of also runs in the men's race, and I think that must be frustrating. Has it really kind of bothered you at time, or do you manage to keep you cool?
mostly I keep my cool.
Mm.
I did a few, on your right, on your left, and people would generally move out the way, and you'd overtake them, and then I don't know if sometimes they realise you're a woman going past, and they're like, "Oh, I better get a move on," and then they come hammering down the other side. But yeah, generally people are happy to get out of the way and know that there's someone like, and I want to get past.
Yeah.
It just, if there's like a down Whernside, there was kind of a line of 4 of us, and I wanted to get past the person I was behind, but he probably wanted to get past the person in front of him. So it's kind of then knock-on effect a bit.
And then I think the thing is keeping you cool. I made a mistake yesterday on Whernside for that very same reason. I was in a queue of traffic and I was starting to get really annoyed because I'm not a climber. I'm a big lad, and the descents are what I love, and it's where I have to kind of take my places back. But when you're stuck in a line of traffic and there's spike rush either side of you in the bogs and just slabs, you kind of, so I grabbed an opportunity to go around someone, and then I did, and it was great and everything was safe. But then I just rode like a nutter because I was in a I'd had that anxious mood where I'd just done the overtake and I had to make time up again, and then I smacked my wheel on on a rock, and so I had to get down to Ribblehead on a puncture. So yeah, during your 3 victories, have you had any bad mechanicals or anything?
A mechanical from last year, I fell off on the cattle grid at the bottom of Simon's Fell.
Oh.
Because it was so crowded, someone clipped my front wheel. I went down. I guess it's not really a mechanical, but yeah.
No, it's going to affect you.
My thumb for a good 6 months after that was really quite sore.
Yeah. Sorry, which cattle grid? The one was he coming out of the farmyard, or when you turn off the road? When
you turn off the road. Ooh. Immediately as you turn off the road, I came off there last year.
Yeah, that's not nice as well, because there's probably a few people waiting to ride into the back of you as well at that point.
It was chock-a-block last year.
Yeah.
And I think me falling off also probably caused more of a tailback behind, as well, as I then had to pick my bike up and get back on it. I've never had a puncture.
Wow.
On 3 Peaks. I had a puncture last Sunday on my 3 Peaks tyres. There was a six plug puncture. So they got quickly changed on Monday morning. But I've not had a puncture at the last 3 I've done. The first one I did, I came off my bike on Whernside. My shifters slipped on my handlebars.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get those back on. But that's the only.
Yeah, good. And Elsie also asked me to ask you a question after her first one. Do you ever get any problems with your hand? She was covered in blisters yesterday.
Yeah, I had like little hot spots.
Yeah.
Just like here.
Yeah.
But I was wearing gloves, and I think it's just because you're going faster and shaking and.
Yeah, and the high pressure. You're generally having a higher pressure than you'd have if you were doing a nice gravel ride, haven't you? Because of all the massive rocks everywhere. So I think that makes your bike shake even more.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I've been riding most of the summer on a mountain bike until the last month.
Yeah,
and then before that, I can fit 50mm tires and a 55 in the front of my gravel bike. So I've had a very cushy ride until September came.
Well, there's been rumblings, and I don't know how far it's going to go, but I'm sure you've heard them, that we are going to get an increase on the tyre width. And I think one of the main reasons really is just making the event accessible, talking to Dean for as many people as possible, and he doesn't want to make it like this kind of private club of weirdos on cross bikes. So gravel bikes didn't exist really, even really in John's time. John Rauns's time, they weren't really selling a lot of them in the kind of way they are now, and so many people own them. So yeah, I think there's an opportunity there for the event. Obviously, we're still limited in numbers, but it's great to get a throughput, and every year we have a load of first timers. I think that's really important as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, fingers crossed. We might not be talking about punctures quite as much as we have done in the past. So yeah, what's been your closest point out of the three victories you've had? Have you ever been really nervous coming down to Horton? Someone on your tail?
The first year I was with Vic Peel coming off Ingleborough, and I managed to escape on the road to Whernside.
Yeah, Vic had run it the previous year, hadn't she?
Vic won it the previous year.
Yeah.
So I didn't ever know the gap, what the gap was then.
Yeah.
But I was playing getaway and try and stay away.
Yeah, you knew you had a gap, so you wanted to keep.
Yeah. And then it happened that she pulled out at Ribblehead that year.
She'd gone over the bars, I think.
Yeah.
You didn't know that, so you're still.
I didn't know that, so I was still thinking, is she going to come? Last year, I asked the marshals at the very top. Well, at the loop at Pen-y-Ghent, I asked the marshal at the end of the loop where second was, and he said, she's just gone past. So I knew that all I'd had to do then was get down without puncturing.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be safe. And then this year I had a don't look at the time, just go and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Kind of race plan. But I didn't know where Helm was. Someone said that I had a big gap, but whether you believe them or not is.
Yeah,
it's hard to believe. It's sometimes hard to believe a spectator when.
Yeah.
And
you're tired going at Pen-y-Ghent. So even if you feel like you're on a good ride, you never know if someone else is on a better ride behind you, I guess. And there's always that thing hanging over you. Of course, until about probably 7 years ago, we used to go up and down Pen-y-Ghent completely the same way. So you would turn around at the top and then see them coming up. But now we do that loop on the top. If there's someone within 10 minutes of you.
I think, it probably is 10 minutes that you don't know who's there. And then it's then you see the people who are a bit further down and you can see all them coming up. But yeah, I didn't see Helen this year. So she must have been somewhere along that loop when I was coming up. I mean, it's hard to see anyone really.
It is, yeah. You do sort of, and those little snippets you get from people at the roadside, they could be like an hour out of date. That bit of information, it's so difficult. I had it this year because I was, I didn't know where Elsie was behind me. It's her first year, and as a parent, I was worried. I was kind of thinking, oh God, I hope she's okay, because it's quite an undertaking, isn't it? And I didn't see her at Ribblehead. So in my head, I thought, right, she hasn't had to pull out at Cold Coats.
Yeah.
So everything's going all right. And then that was it. And then, of course, I don't know if you know, I had to walk all the way up Pen-y-Ghent this year and freewheel down. And so I
read that this morning at breakfast.
Yeah, not my finest hour. But the nice side of that is that I saw Elsie on the way down, and it was brilliant because I wasn't in a rush, and I kind of slammed my brakes on and had a quick chat with her. So that was lovely, yeah. But yeah, it was nice to not be in a rush anyway on Pen-y-Ghent. So 3 definitely in the bag. I think, as you say, there's no one appearing to really threaten you at the moment properly, unless you have a bad day or a really bad mechanical or something. And you clearly, I think we all know you're going to be back next year. So yeah, great. Just a quick aside sort of thing. So people like Lachlan Morton and and Jensen and Giles Drake, they're all out there as kind of big cycling people. Just tell a few people about what you do when you're not doing the Three Peaks, because you're not doing every weekend of the the UK cyclo-cross scene. Just tell people a little bit about what you're up to when you're not a Three Peaks rider.
I guess I'm a fell runner, and yeah, run on the fells. Don't do that much cyclocross. Have done a few cyclocross races. I did a few of the national series last year for the first time. Did a few more cyclocross races last year.
Yeah.
Have done some longer cycling this year. I went and did the West Highland Way and the Badger Divide.
You've been very modest. You've got a fastest known time on the way by quite some time as well. So, yeah.
And I did a solo trip across the Alps this summer on my bike.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I have a fell running background and spend quite a few weekends a year fell racing. I've got the next 3 weekends there's 2 relays in Langdale fell race, which are always good fun. So it's a busy time of year.
Great. Well, yeah, I'll enjoy that, and it's nice to see someone else, still there from the, at the top of the race from a fell running background, because with Jebby's reign sort of came to an end a few years ago. We think it did. And we've had.
He did very well.
He's been there at the front of the men's race for absolutely years, and when I started in the mid-90s, it was Ian Ferguson and Andy Peace. All the good Three Peaks riders came from a fell running background, and so yeah, it's nice to see that being upheld really in the women's event, and yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Well done.
Be nice to. I'm trying to encourage some other fell running friends that they want to race the Three Peaks. So yeah, but I don't. I probably need to do a bit more work on them.
Yeah. And Vic Wilkinson's another former winner from a fell running background too. It's definitely, in its nature, the Three Peaks has always attracted fell runners, but fell running itself has become more popular, and I know a few of the local Rossendale Harriers who were coming up yesterday and watching, and they're definitely interested, especially some of the youngsters. Well, you're setting a great example anyway. I hope the women's field will grow a bit next year as well. It's kind of petering around fair to middling at the moment. I think it got near 60 at one point when we did have a larger field, but we'll get it back up there, I'm sure. And I'm trying my best with my family, and you're doing a great job of setting a great example. So congrats on your 3rd win, and
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you next year.
Thank you.